welcome. You're watching FNO Spotlight, and the news that is just coming in, the NCLAT has allowed the Competition Commission to penalize cement companies for cartelization of pricing. The stocks in the cement pack are coming under pressure. In fact, UltraTech is at its day's low point with a cut of about 2%, and the rest of the cement pack is also looking quite rough. It's a setback for cement companies. NCLT allows CCI 6,300 crores of penalty on cement companies. So the whole SPAC, UltraTech, Ambuja, ACC, Ramco, Shree Cement should be coming under selling pressure this morning. UltraTech is already at the day's low point as we speak, and the rest of the stocks are also going to be reacting to this quite negatively. Shree Cement is at the day's low point, 1.5% lower is what we've got. So 6,030 crores of penalty is what cement companies will now have to pay to the Competition Commission. Well, in the meantime, the markets as well have lost some steam. In fact, it's a morning of consolidation. We were hoping that you would see a new high either in today or tomorrow's day of trade, which still holds true. But for now, it's a morning where the markets are quiet on the benchmark at least. 11-point cut on the Nifty is what we've got. 11,122 is what the Nifty trades at. Bank Nifty trades up 27,000 at 26,950 is what we've got. Broader markets are outperforming the benchmark but still trading slightly lower. UltraTech is your biggest loser, but in terms of your big gainers on the Nifty 50, Indiabulls Housing is up 3.5%. Bajaj twins like Bajaj Finserv and Finance are both trading well. Adani Port is up about 2%. Vedanta, Hindalco are trading positive. Bajaj Auto, HDFC Bank are all trading in positive territory. Yes Bank, ONGC, Hero MotoCorp are all under pressure. The news that we're getting in is that there is a setback for cement companies. The NCLAT has allowed Competition Commission to penalize cement companies to the tune of 6,300 crores. Cement counters, there you go. The reaction is coming in. Now it's 11 companies that are going to be penalized on this.
Results of ACC, we saw all of these stocks in fact rallying quite a lot on the upside, and they've in fact achieved quite a good target on the upside, and they've reversed exactly from their resistance level, which means that for at least this series the upside seems to be over. And now for remaining 2 days, tomorrow being an expiry, I think yes, we might see some 3 to 4% downside from the current market price as well on all these cement counters. So I think yes, there's a good shorting opportunity.
Did you say, Jay, UltraTech, ACC, anybody else? Because UltraTech is already down 2.5%.
I think Ambuja Cement can also be shorted at these levels because Ambuja Cements too has rallied quite a lot. In fact, you see that in yesterday's trading session the stock opened gapped up and almost achieved the short-term target of almost 216 on the upside. Now I think till 218 levels on the upside on Ambuja are not taken off. The overall bias at least remains negative for a day or two. I think on the lower side, if you see, then 206 levels can be achieved. 218 will be the stop loss.
Right, that's a short opportunity on Ambuja Cement. But Piyush, this is a huge negative or setback for cement companies. Competition Commission can now penalize 11 cement companies to the tune of 6,300 crores. Firstly, take me through which those 11 companies are and what is the quantum that each company is going to be hit by. You've got the smile on your face. I'm not sure why.
Yes, because I'm smiling because you've actually asked me the names of the companies. It's very important from a stock perspective. Now, let's bring out the names here. Number one, ACC, Ambuja Cement. Ambuja Cement, again, we know the results are there. So, again, that's a sort of dual, again, sort of event for them. But yes, ACC, Ambuja Cement, number two. And then the third one, UltraTech Cement, again, that basically also was being named by CCI when the penalty was imposed roughly around 6,300 crores. Some more companies like JK Cement, India Cements.
Look at the screen. Ambuja is the only one that's trading positive right now. Is that some earnings?
Because Street is just actually hoping that they could be actually giving some good results, and that's why they're not. They don't want to short that stock primarily. I think, but I think that's still again a catch here. Ambuja is not going to be ACC again in terms of the result performance here. Some more stocks again like Madras Cements, Century Cements, Binani Cements, and as we know, again, a couple of these companies have either got merged, gone into NCLT. Again, for example, again there has been a combination in terms of Grasim. Again, Grasim Cement is now actually merged with UltraTech Cements. You're talking about Binani Cements. We know again basically that is going through a sort of NCLT process here. Also in terms of Lafarge India, again that basically is being folded into now ACC Ambuja here. So again, so these companies actually were being penalized, named by CCCI in terms of cartelization. Penalty was being imposed. The last time again, it was actually for 50% of their profits during 2009-10 and 2010-11. Then again, subsequently, there were being pleas again which were being filed by the companies, and then the NCLT has now upholded the penalty on these companies. So it actually means, Samina, that again, if they have to pay this much of fine, it's going to be actually a sort of a very, very weak quarter for them, because again, for a couple of companies, this actually could mean wipeout of the entire quarter profit.
Wow, so that's a huge setback coming in, and this what we are seeing on screen, Piyush, is a 2 to 2.5% cut on most of your cement names. I'm guessing we're just scratching the surface for now.
Right, so I think that's the sort of case here at present. Most of the cement companies are down now 2 to 3% at present. Now, the case here is that in terms of larger companies, again, there will be again that sort of a resilience again. So for UltraTech Cement, they have the capacity, they have the profit, revenue again to shield themselves. But in terms of smaller companies, perhaps, that's where I think the pain is going to come more. So JK Cement again, India Cement again, these are the mid-cap cement companies again, or the smaller cap cement companies. So again, you have to be cautious slightly more on them. It's not a JK Lakshmi, it's a JK Cement again. Let's be very cautious here. So again, that's the sort of bias which is coming right now at present. And as I understand, at present, Mr. Rajesh Kumar from the Centrum, again, he is now joining us. Rajesh, first up, what's your reaction in terms of NCLT upholding the penalty? Does that imply now that these companies will have to pay, and if they have to pay, make the payment here, perhaps how again the payment would be looking like on a quarterly profit basis?
So, hi, good morning. First of all, the clarity in terms of what appeal recourse the companies had, that detail need to be, that detail is yet to be known. Okay, prima facie, the amount versus these are one-off payments, assuming there is no, upgradation in the penalty amount, because these are 5-6-year-old case. Okay, assuming that is the scenario, the companies have to, pay off the old same penalty which was imposed. Because there would be a one-off payment, you should always consider these against the current market caps. So from UltraTech perspective, it is 1% of the current market cap. ACC, it is around 5% of the market cap. Ambuja, it is 3% of the market cap. The worst impacted would be India Cement, which is 6% of the market cap. Century Textiles, the penalty amount which was imposed was around 274 crores on a current market cap of around 1,000 crore. So that this is how you need to consider, because this would be a one-off case, and this cannot be extrapolated that going forward also these companies would be again seen with the same lens of cartelization. So from one-off impact, the mainstream companies, obviously there will be some impact if this is totally held in totality. So India Cement, obviously a 6% impact is there, followed by India and Ambuja around 5 to 3%. All other companies, like as I said, UltraTech, Shree Cement, these are smaller components. Similarly for Ambuja.
Rajesh, very nicely put and very aptly put in terms of the market cap impact, percentage of market cap impact here. And if I heard you rightly, what you were saying was the worst companies which are going to be hit are ACC, Ambuja, India Cements, between 5 to 6% of market cap. Was that something right? Actually, I was making as a conclusion from what you were saying.
Yes.
Right, so India Cements, again, watch out for that stock. Let's bring that stock once again on the charts here. Almost 6% hit on the market cap is what again is being pointed out. 3.5% down is right now stock. So in terms of 11 companies, very nicely again Rajesh has pointed out, these 3 companies will be the most worst hit here. ACC, Ambuja, almost 5% of the market cap, and again India Cements, again almost 6%. But this is going to be one-off. So again a quarterly aberration in terms of profits, but that's how it's going to be put here. Rajesh, any other at present concerns which you want to put out on this news flow?
So, see, this is a case where companies did have a legal understanding that they will not be, and that was an unanimous standing by all the cement majors and all, they would also be fighting with a good amount of legal expertise. So let's wait and watch what exactly, falls in store, because the industry, the way it is functioning, there has always been enough competition, and that remains. The amount of competitive intensity across market, is quite high in all markets. So, that need to be seen that for future, how does this, case is looked into. But obviously, the first thing is the quantum of the penalty, which was earlier. Will that be revised upward? If that happens, that will obviously have slightly more negative implications.
Rajesh, my last question to you before we let you go, and that would be, does that change anything in the way, again, you'll be looking in the sector in terms of your top picks, in terms of your earning estimates? Yeah, I know, again, the payment is actually going to be done. There will be earning downgrades for the year. But still, in terms of your top picks within the sector, will actually this lead you towards the Ramco Cement or the other stocks which are not affected by this, or this doesn't change the top pick list?
No, that doesn't change, because, we continue to prefer Ultratech. ACC also post-recent correction is an attractive level. In terms of mid-caps, we continue to like JK Cement and Star Cement, which is unimpacted. And Ramco Cement also is a good stock, but we would wait for better pricing environment in the South market before, we again turn bullish. We have been bullish on the stock for long before we last quarter downgraded to a hold. But that's a quality franchise, good business model. So only the pricing is a key variable for all the cement companies. And South market has been languishing for last 1 year now. So, if the prices do pick up, Ramco Cement will significantly benefit.
Right, and Rajesh, thanks a lot for giving us all the insights into cement company. As I understand, Mr. H.P. Ranina is also actually joining us now to give us insights from the legal aspect, what we could be making out from the NCLAT upholding the cement penalty. Mr. Ranina, what actually we should be deducing from this judgment coming from NCLAT?
Well, it only affirms the stand that they have committed default, that there was some violation of the Competition Act. And the main problem will be now on the accounts of these companies, because, earlier they had shown this as a contingent liability, and that no longer stands. Now that the appellate court has upheld the penalty, I think the auditors will insist on provisioning for it. So it will certainly affect their profit and loss account, their bottom line, in a very substantial way. And that will be, I think, the major impact. Of course, if they have a right to go and appeal to the Supreme Court, but unless the Supreme Court gives a stay on the recovery of the balance amount, they may be asked to deposit a substantial amount in court. So it will also affect their cash flow in the coming weeks. And that is, I think, a source of great worry for the cement companies.
So, Ranina, of course, you go from one court to another, and I guess these companies will manage to buy time and keep time in their favor. But in terms of a timeline, in terms of the possibility of a stay coming in from the Supreme Court on this order, what is the likelihood? You're a veteran in this, and of course, you understand it better than most of us. If you've got to understand the impact and what this could mean for companies, what do you think is the likelihood of a stay coming in from the Supreme Court on this order?
Well, the appeal, in all probability, will be accepted, will be admitted at the initial stage. But since large amounts are involved, in the past, the tendency has been that the Supreme Court will ask for a deposit of at least 40 to 50% of the penalty amount. And that has happened, this has been the trend. So I personally feel that appeal will go ahead, appeal will be admitted, but it will affect their cash flow. And as I said earlier, they will also have to make provision in their books of account, because no longer can it be treated as a contingent liability.
Right. Thanks a ton, Mr. Ranina. Good talking to you this morning. That's the word coming in. This, of course, cement companies will appeal to the Supreme Court for a stay on this order. Remember, they are being penalized from, of course, cartelization, which took place in the cement industry over 6 years ago. So, of course, it's a little too late, and I think that's what the markets will start taking heart from. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to Jay Thakkar whether or not the weakness that cement stock is seeing right now could actually be a buying opportunity for a medium-term trader. Stay tuned.
As trading comes to close, it's time to analyze the day gone by, the ups and downs, the winners and losers. It's time to count your gains, cut your losses with market experts, newsmakers and game changers. Training Day, weekdays 2:30 p.m. only on Business Television India.
Welcome back. You're watching F1 Spotlight. We have this Jay Thakur of Anand Rathi now. Jay, we were just trying to understand what this penalty could mean for cement companies, and HP Ranina indicated that these companies will now, of course, appeal to the Supreme Court, and a stay from the Supreme Court is very likely. Keeping that in mind, it seems like it could be another decade until a penalty is actually put in place for cement companies. Do you think the weakness right now could be a buying opportunity for a near-term trader in cement stocks?
Let's see. First of all, though, we need to see whether the price is correct and find some support at the lower levels or not. And as we know, I just recommended a short on Ambuja Cement from those levels. We have almost seen a % cut coming on Ambuja Cement. So the trade is already in the money now. I think that the kind of reversal which we have seen from lower levels, there was definitely a good amount of strength, but it was mainly on back of the short covering as well, which we had seen, and the results were outstanding as which were posted by the ACC, because of which the sentiment overall in the cement sector was actually taken quite positively, and hence we saw the rally coming in. But then it has reached to the overbought territory. It has reached to its crucial resistances. And I think from these levels there can be some profit booking on account of this news, and once this profit booking or consolidation is over, thereafter if it takes off, if it provides a breakout on the upside, then one can again initiate a long. Those who are already holding long, I think I advise right now to book profit. Aggressive traders were only recommended to go short for a target of 206 when it was trading somewhere around 213 as far as Ambuja is concerned. But then I think that a medium-term call should be taken once the consolidation is over. Till then, I think it's just a short-term trade.
Beyond that, Jay, your trades for the day for our viewers, any intraday long or short calls beyond cement?
Definitely, so I have a couple of trade on the long side because overall I think that market still has not achieved the targets on the upside, because what we believe as the kind of consolidation breakouts which we are still coming in this series is that 10,930, 10,450, 500 on the lower side. That was somewhere around 400 to 500 points range which was taken off on the upside, which means on an arithmetic scale you will see at least the target comes to 11,300, 400 levels, right? And we haven't seen those levels actually getting achieved. So the targets are still pending, and hence we have a buy recommendation. First, I'll give the cash segment buy recommendation, and that's on Cerebra. Now, Cerebra, the kind of breakout which we have seen coming in this stock with increase in volumes, a clear breakout from a downward sloping channel, and then a breakout, and then the stock is trading in an upward sloping channel. The stock is trading above short-term moving averages. The indicators are in buy mode. There's a breakout with the price and volume breakout. I think Cerebra is likely to inch towards the levels of 76 initially, and thereafter 80. The stop loss can be placed at 57. The second buy recommendation is from the banking name, that is on Axis Bank. Axis Bank has not participated quite much on the upside, but the kind of volume build-up we have seen, open interest build-up we have seen in the last trading session, I think Axis Bank in the next series, for the August series, I think is likely to head towards the levels of 560 at least, with a stop loss of 536. One can buy this. And a final buy recommendation is from the PSU banking name, that is Andhra Bank, which has clearly broken out from a classical falling wedge pattern, that is an ending diagonal pattern. The indicators are in fact given a buy crossover. I think Andhra Bank in the short term is likely to inch towards the levels of 32. One can buy this with a stop loss of 31.
Sorry, Jay, we'd have loved to chat with you longer, but on back of that breaking news, we were short of time and would have to wrap up the show. But hopefully we'll catch you next week on F1 Spotlight.
Sure.
Well, while we slip into a break, I'll just give you a quick update of what's happening in Mumbai. The Maratha Kranti Morcha has called a statewide bandh in Maharashtra, continuing the demand for reservation in government jobs and education. Let's head across to Karishma, who's joining in for a latest update. Karishma, what's going on in the city?
Well, yes, large-scale violence marred a statewide protest in